Hello, folks. You catch me searching desperately in my dice bag for the 100 part of a D100, which will not show up. It's the last dice in the bag. Anyway, welcome to Telling Tales. I'm going to keep searching while I do this intro. We do atmospheric roleplay and streaming on Twitch and on YouTube. I think we're actually streaming on YouTube now, which is exciting as well. I don't think this series is yet, but our new series might well be, which is cool. So yeah, check that out. I found it, the D100 part. Yes. I literally got out 30 dice to find that. Anyway. Welcome to Telling Tales. We are doing some Warhammer tonight. Thank you very much for joining us. And sorry we've been off for a little while. We've had various illnesses going around. The dreaded lurgy been afflicting me. It's actually been pretty awful. I finally started to recover, but it's not been fun. And a few other folks as well. But yeah, we're going to be doing a session tonight. But before I get to that, let me do an intro on Telling Tales and what we do. So we stream on Mondays. Currently Warhammer, probably finishing fairly soon. Not sure exactly when, we'll have to see. We're also streaming We Did and Led on the alternate Monday. So we're alternating, which is run by Jack, which is very fun, which will also be finishing fairly soon. We have return to Simbaroom now on Wednesdays. I think it's something like probably the third or fourth episode of that, which is very exciting. I haven't caught up with that yet. I'm quite looking forward to that new arc once I finished catching up with Blade Runner, which is also very good. Trying to cough too much on this. And we also have the Yellow King, which Matt is running on every other Thursday. So I think the next one isn't this week. It is the following week. So yeah, come check that out. That's really good as well for a bit of Eldritch goodness. We also will have a one-shot at some point on a Saturday or Sunday. I'm not sure, not confirmed yet. But keep an eye on our social media. I think that'll probably be mid-late July. System to be confirmed. And then Jonny is going to be taking over with Call of Cthulhu on Mondays quite soon, once me and Jack finish, which we're all looking forward to. We've been talking about character creation and such. Anyway, I won't drag this intro on any longer. Yeah, social media and stuff down below. Please check it out. Check out one or the other of Twitch or YouTube if you haven't. Thank you very much to our patrons who wish to support us. We have Discord as well, which is lovely and lively, and lots of conversations going on there. So, Warhammer. Yeah, you probably all know about Warhammer. Dark, grim. It's Warhammer. Everyone's heard of Warhammer. Warhammer Fantasy 4th edition we're going to be playing tonight. And I will give us a bit of a recap on kind of what's been going on, because it's been like 3 or 4 weeks now. But I thought we might as well just bring all the players on before I do that, because it's nice to see them, isn't it? Otherwise, it's just me talking at the screen, which is less fun. So, hello, all the players. How are all the players doing?
Good. All good.
Justin, you have your secret mute button.
Never mind.
So much disdain for that secret mute button. Gosh,
I do.
Nothing else in your life that has as
using
much
it.
disdain as that button.
Stop using it. What? It's extra good. Extra good. That's why I use it.
Such good mute. Just can't get mute this good anywhere else.
Pretty much.
Yeah, so what's been going on? So these 4 players, we'll let the players introduce themselves in a moment, but these 4 characters have been in the town of Weisbrook. And it's been beautiful. That's very nice, John. Thank you. Are you gonna put the players in order of the yeah, these 4 characters have been in the town of Weisbrook for various reasons. They could probably all intro why they're here in the first place. Actually, that might be quite nice. But they all got kind of wrapped up in a bit of a messy set of funerals, it's safe to say, in a garden of moor in the town of Weisbrook, where someone decided they didn't want to die and was aiming to raise themselves from dead. And it sort of worked, it sort of didn't work. They ended up chopping the thing to bits and also catching a would-be assassin. Well, as partly successful assassin at the same time, and finding out lots of other interesting plots. Then Boniface ended up heading off to meet with magical friends and discovered some sort of awful summoning ritual and terrible cult. The rest kind of investigated the town a bit, then followed Boniface and ended up stumbling across this awful cult and them about to sacrifice Boniface or something. Big fight ensued. Terrible demons were destroyed. You escaped there and then found that, oh no, it looks like Weisbrook seems to be on fire. There was a brief interlude on the way to Weisbrook where you talked with some sort of entity, which definitely didn't seem friendly. And then you head down to the town. where you stomped some more demons, and then last session got out to the front of the town hall and fought some corrupted abomination horrific things, which were thankfully not too tough, especially because Okri, I think, was on death's door this whole time ever since fighting a monstrosity in the cave. And yeah, that's more or less where we are now. You've just defeated all the monsters. You've stopped the assassin escaping. Sebastian, who was with you earlier, has disappeared. And you've saved the knight, but a few other characters are still unaccounted for. It's also worth saying you did destroy a few extra demons in that fight as well. And Henrik had an interesting encounter with one of them where it kind of gripped his head and told him a lot of things he might not have wanted to see. I think that's more or less where we are. So shall we do little character intros as well? So we start from the left with Steve.
Yeah, I'm struggling to remember what the hell was going on. But it's been a busy evening, I think. Kruger is here primarily. His main reason for being here was to act as a bodyguard for someone named Gustav Weil, who actually, in the scheme of things, yes, he probably does need a bodyguard because some of his roles haven't been great.
He hasn't been rolling very well, that man.
Yeah.
It's true.
So yes, we do finally know what sort of wizard business Boniface was up to.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of worried about Sebastian because I don't really want to be on the peg for another sort of semi-noble getting eaten or so. That's put a pin in that one. Yeah, could do with a sit down and a mug of beer, I think, at this point.
As you say, it's been a long night. I think it's probably kind of early midway to dawn now from midnight. It's still dark, but it's you've been up a while. Cool, thanks. And Justin, when you introduced Boniface.
Yeah, so Boniface is a young wizard apprentice who used to be, before going to wizard school, before having his "you're a wizard" Boniface moment, was the servant of Kruger. And basically, since going to wizard school, has been working hard, but did come to Weisbrook to blow off steam with some other wizards who turned out to be cultists, which he kind of, to be fair, kind of expected given the situation.
Mm-hmm.
It was too good to be true, and now is kind of trying to just, to be honest, win himself back into the good books of his compatriots after being associated with a death cult, which
It doesn't look good. Never.
It's
good luck.
like, it's not that it necessarily looks bad. It's more that like he feels like he's playing into a stereotype of himself, and that's just not what you want to do as you grow out of your teens.
Yeah, absolutely. Did you speak to the cult the skull Boniface? I did not speak to the skull. We have a feeling you did speak to the skull.
I did not speak to the skull.
Jonny, who is Okri?
Okri is a dwarven smith. He has made his home here in this town and set up a forge, which was one of his ambitions, was to set up his own forge after graduating. Boniface very kindly invested in the forge, so I'm hoping to prevent it from burning down so that I can but now, like, if it doesn't make that much money, I can kind of blame it on the fact that trade through town might be bad because of this attack of demon spawn.
That's
so
true.
Maybe I'm a little bit relieved about that.
Then again, it could be more trade because everyone needs to rebuild. So maybe it's good for trade.
No, definitely really bad.
Oh, sorry.
But yes, I'm. This is my home now, so I definitely want to get this solved and keep the place safe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And John, who is Henrik?
Henrik is a rat catcher / investigator / rat investigator, who has recently been trying to track down assassins to enact some sort of personal vendetta, because having a vendetta against an association of assassins can't end badly.
And of course, it's all linked to the small furry rat men that live under the world and control all the world's politics.
Yeah. I mean, that can't be a problem, maybe.
No.
I really liked Steve's thing about Kruger just being like, oh God, when I was finding out this from Los Angeles, just like pulling up the floorboards in all the buildings and stuff, whenever you're anywhere now. That was funny.
Still sort of waiting for the ground to literally fall in at our feet at any moment.
Just a mild trauma that, just, you know.
Yeah.
I still like. I think Kruger still prefers the rats. You know where you are when you
It's
you know
true. Also, I
plummeting
mean,
into a den of sentient.
I mean,
bitey-
when things can just disappear and reappear, and sometimes you can't hit them or seemingly at all.
yeah.
Yeah. Also, like, what is their objective? Rats, kind of know, just want to eat you.
World
kill you.
domination. What
Exactly.
what are they going to do this week?
They want the moon. They want the moon cheese. That's what they want. Cool. Thanks very much, then, folks. So, you are in the town square. The chaos has already kind of died down somewhat. I think you probably just had a few seconds at least to catch your breath and look around. Some of the people in the village are, throwing buckets of water on buildings. Only a few buildings were burning. It's not like Vicebrook itself has been destroyed or anything. The guardhouse in front of you was on fire. There are a few guards people there now, actually. Good to see there are a few left throwing water over it. Although you do wonder where they were in that fight. It's worth saying you haven't seen Talthur at all yet, the head of the guard captain. You don't think he was one of the creatures, but you hope not.
Wasn't I could have sworn? Yeah, John is nodding. I thought we had seen.
Oh, had you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
In
It was
a rather negative.
almost like a post-credits scene of an abomination wearing a suspiciously familiar hat or something.
Did I just not note that down at all? That's absolutely terrible of me. Oh, it's been a long time, so I could believe that's the case. Shall we retcon that Talthur is dead? That seems awful of me. Well, if I said it, I guess I better stick to it. If two of you remember it.
To be fair, that is an incidental connection. It might be that he lent his hat to somebody. We don't have definitive proof. We have incidental proof.
Or they just had the same hat,
I'm going to say, for the moment, you're not sure. You thought it might have been Talthur. You can investigate these bodies. There you go. I'll leave plausible deniability in there.
No thanks.
Heat of combat.
No thanks on.
Around you, so these creatures are all effectively just rapidly decomposing in front of you. It's pretty disgusting. The knight is now kind of crouched over the badly injured squire.
Yeah, I'd be wanting to help out.
Yeah, that makes
if
sense.
at all possible. I mean, I don't know whether Kruger is in a state to be offering first aid, but Kruger would certainly be calling for someone of our party to.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Provide it.
The other things going on, Turg is nearby, the ogre friend you made. You see Turg frantically stomping on another of these creatures, which is just mush at this point. So Turg seems to have won that. And as I said earlier, Sebastian, you have no idea where he went. You can't see him. Henrik's probably zeroed in on the seamstress, was the name of the assassin, wasn't it? Who you can see still slumped over at the far side of the square, not too far from where you are. I think that's probably all that's going on around you right now. You're not far from the front of the guardhouse. So what are folks doing? Go on, John.
I have a vague feeling that I either did finish or intended to finish last session going over and securing the seamstress.
I think you said you were going to, but that was more or less where we ended the session. So let's pick off there. That seems like more or less the first thing that would happen. So Henrik dashes past everyone, basically straight towards where she's collapsed on the ground. Henrik, first, are you just rushing up to her? What are you doing?
If I'm reasonably confident she's down, no.
Okay, well, I think
she's.
Give me a roll. Give me a roll to assess what you think her state is, because that seems
perception.
Yes. I'll give you a average plus 20.
I rolled 1.
Okay, well that's real useful. She looks convincingly unconscious, but you've seen this before. She's acting unconscious. You're certain that she is deliberately pretending to be unconscious with the intention of catching you out. That was a good one to roll.
I don't. Am I desperate enough to try and hit her while she's down? Yes, because she's pretending to be down.
This is Warhammer. This isn't some,
Yeah, it seems fair, especially when someone's pretending. You know, she's pretending with nefarious intentions.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna load up another rock.
That seems fair. Okay. Make a whatever your ranged attack is, but at like a +40.
Okay, so
She's
91
really
or
watching.
lower.
She's trying to pretend to be unconscious.
8.
Yeah.
So that's 9 success levels.
Can you do non-fatal damage with a sling?
With a stone? Well, that is a good question, isn't it? What are you trying to do?
Is there a thing for like targeting specific limbs and taking a penalty or something? Or...
Well, that's the thing. If you're going to go for a head, it's going to be a difficult case to make that you're not going to kill her with a 9 success. But I would allow you to say I'm not going for her head.
I am trying to go for. I'm going to say preferably her right arm.
Okay, I like that.
Her most stabby arm.
Yeah, you can remember what arm she used in the fight, which was her right arm. So, she you hit her like right in the elbow, and her elbow just goes crunch. It's a big stone, and she's only little. Her elbow just like flops, and she like goes and wails, and immediately kind of rolls onto her back like that, and you see like a dagger with kind of a black ichor on it. Flop from her right hand, and she looks up at you frightened, kind of trying to back away and get onto her feet.
I'm going to try and stuff her in my sack.
Okay. What role do you want to make for stuffing her in a sack?
That's a good question. I hadn't thought far enough of rolling.
I mean, this will be opposed.
I've got a sack. She's a halfling.
A good chance. Yeah.
Melee basic? No, that's more with a
no,
weapon.
You're not using a weapon, so.
Could I mean, is the bag a weapon?
It's more a strengthy sort of thing in my book, so you could do an opposed strength. Her strength is not good.
My strength is also not good, but this is a stupid idea, so I'm fine with doing a not good.
Well, she's also, you just wounded her elbow, so I'm going to give her a malus on this as well. So go on, let's roll an opposed. Well, she rolled very well, though. So she's got -1 success level, which is good, given she has almost no strength and was at a -20.
I rolled 16 under 29, so 1 success level.
Okay, yeah, you're fine. Excuse me. So, she kind of like lashes out with the arm and then tries to like pull away from you, and there's a momentary struggle, but you stuff her in the sack. It's like heavy Hessian. Unless she has another blade to reach for, you're fairly confident she's not going to be able to get out, certainly with an injured arm. You didn't actually search her, though, so you hope she doesn't have another blade. Maybe just keep an eye on the sack.
Yeah.
She obviously wriggles and fights. She doesn't, for what it's worth, other than swearing in a language you don't recognize. You don't know words. Maybe some of the swear words are in Imperial. Thank you, brain. Thinking of the language. Okay, Henrik, you have secured the assassin, who I keep almost saying the name of because I've written down her real name on this, and it's such a bad idea.
I will carry her back to the group.
Perfect. So others, what are you doing? Kruger, you sounded like you were going to go and try and help with the squire of this knight. You see them there, unconscious and heavily bleeding on the ground.
What were you asking for help for specifically? What was Kruger asking for help for specifically?
Basically, so the squire doesn't die.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So I do have some bandages, but
yep, that's
yes, medical aid.
Sure. I don't know if I have any medical aid, but I will happily rush over and try to help.
Oh God.
But
Yeah,
Um,
I've forgotten. Is there a skill for it? Because I'm pretty.
There is, yeah. So,
Right.
what's his name?
is this someone that you care about?
Gustav?
I mean, it's a professional thing. You don't let.
Well,
know,
I do have a healing draft. I don't know what the healing draft does, but
Yeah.
I've so far not used it this adventure. And I
For what
think
it's
that-
worth, Kruger, you think this person is going to die soon without medical aid?
Okay, then yes. If Boniface has revealed that
I
he's
have
got
a
this healing
tincture
draft.
that I acquired many moons ago. I've been saving for just such an occasion, Kruger. If it's important, then I'm willing
Yes,
to
yes,
part
this
with
is
it.
important.
Right. Then I pull out from my bag this healing draft.
What are you doing with it? And how much are you going to give them? And how are you going to give it to them?
God.
They're unconscious.
Jesus Christ.
Important question. If you want, you could try and make me a roll to know, because you have some magical knowledge. You've been to the college, so.
Me, right? Yeah, of course. With the magician,
Mhm.
it all makes sense now. Yeah, I'm gonna make a roll for that. What kind of roll do you think it would be? A law magic?
Yeah, law magic would make sense.
Bloody hell!
Unless you had
Goodness
anything more
me.
relevant. Law magic would probably be
No, I've got a 41% chance of
yeah,
making it.
do a flat, because if it was another more relevant
Well,
artifact, it could be.
all I can say to you, Kruger, is all I know is that it is a healing draft. I think maybe we shove it down his throat, but that's as good as like I've given
I mean,
you the tools.
I love that the knight is also here looking at you, slightly worried at this.
I think, well, exchanging glances with the knight, like,
Mhm.
you know,
I suggest pouring the entire thing down his throat, and if he's already going to die, the worst it can do is kill him.
I mean, again, this is the Warhammer universe, so
Just do it. Do what you
I
need to
think
to
we've
save his
already
life.
seen
The knight.
the proof that the worst it can do is kill him is false.
Mhm.
Twice in different ways in this story alone.
The knight says, just do it if it'll save him.
That is not a guarantee of this potion. Just to be very clear, I'm not taking medical responsibility.
I love the
of
idea
this.
that Boniface, while not saying this, does give a slightly shifty look in response. But do it.
I
Does it
never
anyway?
said that it would save him. I said that it was an idea.
oh God.
Are you-
Okay. Well,
Are
I
you
will.
pouring it down his throat?
I will uncork it,
Okay.
sniff it.
hmm
It
smells like there's a hint of like quite nice fresh green, like almost grass to it. But there's also a smell of
Death.
no, not death. There's also a smell of like a yeasty sort of smell.
That means it's good.
Doesn't mean anything to you, obviously, but
Oh God.
He's not going to get any less dead if you don't slow down.
Kruger's like, yes, this is
Out of character, I know that the smell of cut grass is actually kind of, if you smell, I'm sure there's like a really nasty chemical where smells of cut grass. If you smell that, it's not good news. But
well, if it's any consolation, out of character, I didn't know that. So there you go.
I will looking once again at Boniface, support the
Boniface is like, I don't know what to tell. I'll give you the back of like, I gave you the potion. That's all I can do.
Oh God, there's no instructions on it, are there?
No, there's no instructions on it.
I will give.
There's probably some like
picture.
sigils and stuff. You have no idea what
Christ.
they mean. Are you pouring the
Gonna
whole
get
thing down? Are you attempting to pour the whole thing down
Yes.
the throat? Okay,
Yes.
gotcha.
What could possibly go wrong
Okay,
in this situation?
make a quick roll.
Rolling dice on a D100
Okay.
table. Probably.
You end up like spilling some of it because they're unconscious and it's difficult to get it down their throat. But certainly most of the potion does go down their throat, and you kind of lay them back down with nothing apparently happening for a few seconds. Probably exchanging nervous glances between yourself and Boniface, and then suddenly they start like vibrating and convulsing in your arms. They start to foam at the mouth slightly. You really feel like you might just have killed them, but as you look down, you note that their wounds have scabmed over rather miraculously. They're still like bad-looking wounds, but they're not bleeding anymore.
Okay.
They stay unconscious.
Right. Do they sort of stabilize? Do they stop?
They do stop
Spasming?
convulsing, yeah,
Right.
and just lay there. And actually, their breathing is like much less ragged and more settled than it was before when they were
Okay.
bleeding out and dying.
Well,
The knight goes, "My God, thank you. I think you saved him."
I certainly hope so. Check the pulse.
Yep. Yeah, the pulse seems relatively stable. My name
If
is Estanian de Lara. I'm in your debt. And he will shake your hand.
I'll sort of nod and yes. Kruger Starker, we do what needs to be done. That's simple as that.
He takes off his helmet, which, by the way, is a magnificent helmet. I think I meant to say it had a unicorn on it or something. It's got like a big crest on the top, and it's like a big, solid metal helmet. You couldn't even see any of his face through it. It's just like tiny pinprick holes in the front, if you see what I mean. He takes it off and lays it to the side with a clonk. And underneath, you see he's actually quite an old man, although you couldn't tell from his voice. He's probably in his 50s. He's got long, graying hair, but very handsome, kind of sharp-jawed, well-kept, kind of mustache and beard, and he moves to shake your hand as well, Boniface. Thank you.
Good point.
Yeah, this man is setting off your noble alarms like that. Like, this is like a lordly guy. You feel like he owns a castle or something.
I mean, again, beneath notice. Like,
Yeah.
whether he
Yeah, but you
whether he
gave the
recognize
potion.
me. But again, like, I'm just some like Baldric character.
Yeah, I
off-
see what you mean.
off-
He will
off the
immediately
side
turn
of
back
the
to
thing.
Kruger and not engage you any further. Yeah.
Thank you.
I did not expect this place to be so dangerous. I just stopped to get supplies on my way north.
Likewise, yes. Not really certain the trigger for these events, but hopefully at least they're over now. There is there's someone I should probably find someone who was with us. Henry Cockery, have either of you seen Sebastian?
Have we?
Okay.
I think the last person to see Sebastian was Henrik, when you were jumped on by one of those pink monsters. Just before that was the last time you saw Sebastian.
He conveniently disappeared just before combat started.
Well, I suppose I did tell him earlier that he should try to keep himself safe.
Yes.
Anyway, we should probably get this squire somewhere.
We did start the evening with some suspicions about the First Interact family.
This is true, I suppose. They were responsible for the was it the barge of poison?
Lotus.
Yes.
I love this whole time, like there's a bag twitching and grumbling behind Henrik.
Yes, we need to get that get the assassin locked away again. We should find the guards. We should find. I've forgotten the name of the guard again.
Captain Talfa.
Yes, Talfa.
I'm just because Okri hasn't had a moment yet. Okri, I'd like you to roll me a easy perception, so plus 40, I think that is. Yeah.
I rolled a 7. So
Okay.
yes.
I'm literally going to roll this to see if it is Talfa or it isn't. Okay, so you were fighting someone who you thought was Talfa. At this moment, you go over and check, and you realize the mushed corpse on the ground was not Talfa. So
Okay.
in it, you were about to kind of go, and then
Was anybody else fighting that one with me that would have also thought it was Talfa?
possibly, but
can't-
I've given you the role. I think you were.
Oh
Next
no! I
to
just
the
mean,
knight.
was anybody else literally fighting it with me? That's what I
I
meant.
think you were nearest the knight actually, because it was kind of you and
Okay.
Kruger on either side of the knight and Boniface.
Yeah.
on the side, so you could ask Estanian.
Huh. Thought that was Talfa, but don't think it is now.
I thought it was that guard captain as well. It isn't.
No. Maybe he's safe.
Or he may be inside.
I agree. We should go and check it out. If you don't mind, I'm going to stay with my ward one moment longer, but I'll catch up with you. If you need aid, shout. And he will just move to pick up. This young lad is like 15, quite young, and not actually that big, so he doesn't have too much trouble lifting him with a small grunt, and starts walking over towards a tavern across the square, one you haven't been to. Are you all going to the guardhouse then?
Yeah, cautiously, I think,
Okay,
unless
I think
there's
so.
sign of.
By the way, everyone but Henrik make me an easy perception roll.
Yes.
Plus 4
Is
hit
it
for
like-
easy.
I rolled and then remembered how awful my perception is,
Was
especially
it,
whilst
is it
wearing helmet.
easy
Plus
plus
40.
plus
Plus 40.
40? Okay, that I'm succeeded with 4 success levels.
Okay, Okri and Boniface, you both note that Henrik's eyes are very bloodshot. I don't know if anyone... Did you see... You did see the creature touching Henrik, because that was when you arrived in the square. So that might occur to you. It's kind of up to you if it does.
Well, you all right, Henrik? You look unwell.
I'm fine.
You don't sound fine.
Do I usually?
Yeah, good point, I suppose. Sorry, there's with all of these corruptions, and I just I'm not sure what to trust anymore. Moment of silence where everybody stares at everybody else.
Yeah. I don't want to stop a moment, but otherwise into the guardhouse.
Yeah, I think if nobody else does it, like I would basically make sure that Henrik wasn't at the back, maybe. You know,
Yeah. Well,
Just
Okri's
thinking,
got a good
like, we'll
excuse. You with being like wounded, you're kind of like, oh, I'm just going to take a moment, and then you use that as an opportunity to watch Henrik, sort of thing. Yeah. That
Yeah.
makes sense. Yep, that's fair.
I will warn everyone before we go in that we already suspected that the artifacts that we recovered from the doctor's office could be a target for some sort of enemy action.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't know that this isn't related.
Absolutely. Okay. Speaking of it, it's a good point. Okay, we'll get to that in a moment. You walk into the guardhouse and you see, as you walk in, Talfa is near the front entranceway. He is also unconscious, and he has like his helmet on. His helmet is partly caved in, and he's breathing fairly smoothly on the floor with a small amount of blood from his head. Clearly, he's been hit over the head, but otherwise, he is. Assuming he's going to wake up, not immediately about to die. There's no one else here. You can see the bars of the kind of jail cells toward the back of this room and down some stairs have been, it seems, physically torn off the wall.
Right. Didn't expect that.
Henrik, could you actually, Okri, you said you were behind Henrik as well. Henrik and Okri, make me perception rolls. Okri, you can get it at a plus 20.
Ooh, 96.
Excuse me.
No, because I have an open helm one, which gives me -10. So I rolled 50, and I essentially have 45.
Okay.
So.
No worries. Never mind. Nothing is happening. Are you going to go down to the jail cells, or are you going to help Taltha? You can split up, obviously.
I will head towards the jail cells, but if
That
no
makes
one
sense.
goes with me,
I'll go.
Okay. So me, Okri, and Rinda are going downstairs.
Mm-hmm. And Kruger and Boniface going to attend to Taltha?
I think so.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I'll sort of, yes, Okri, Henrik, shout if anything down there is well.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll just, Kruger and Boniface, you slowly take off Taltha's helmet and see that he kind of has this temple is kind of like bruised and bloodied, and he's kind of got blood around his eye. From your judgment of combat, you think he'll live. He's probably going to have a wicked headache for a while, but he's probably okay. There's not much you can do with him other than make him comfortable. I guess that is what you do.
Sure, yes, yeah.
Okay. Down to the cells, Henrik Okri. Most of the people who are in those cells appear to still be there, even though some of the cells have been torn off. The widow is just cowering in the corner. Her cell door has been torn off, and she's apparently not tried to escape, probably because horrific abominations tore it off. The other cell, there was the one cell that had like the guy in it who you don't know who it was, who was weeping. He's gone.
The grave digger guy.
Yes, he's gone completely. Both of the two apprentices to the doctor are still here. Their cell hasn't been touched for whatever reason. And the cell at the end, which the seamstress was in, has been completely pulled off. And obviously she had escaped. Henrik, you could smell burning.
Hang on, is this actual burning or is this
Like
Henrik
like
can
something's
smell
on
burning.
fire. Organic material is on fire.
Okri, do you smell that?
Okri, you look at Henrik. The sack's on fire.
But the sack, Henrik, fire.
I will just throw it in front of me and start dampening the fire with my cloak
Yeah, sure.
while also trying to bundle it. I don't.
That's fine. Were you going to say something, Johnny?
I was just going to say that, I mean, I was going to say I'm going to have drawn my weapon, but I would definitely have had my weapon out anyway, so it's irrelevant.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. As you do this, there is a horrific, ungodly wail coming from inside the sack. And your cloak, you pull your cloak off because the sack just falls apart. And from inside, the seamstress kind of emerges. Her eyes are red. And she brings her hand up like that, left hand, up like that. And on the tip of her left finger, you can see, on two fingers actually, 'cause she's got tiny fingers, is that black ring with a skull on it. She doesn't seem to be doing anything in this moment. She's just kind of screaming and wailing. Her eyes are flame, reaching upwards. You have a moment to act.
Can I try and cut her left hand off?
Yep. Yeah, you can try and do that. I think that's going to be a weapon skill.
Yep.
I think we'll make this no just flat. I think it's fair.
Hang on. Let me When did our fortune refresh?
Oh, that's true. That's a good point. I need to double check
Yes.
from. I think it was the beginning of the session.
Yes. Okay. Then I'm spending one
Yes.
fortune
Yes,
and
it was
re-rolling.
session 12. That's right.
How did you start by rolling me a 1, and now you're rolling me 90s? That's better. That is 2 success levels.
Yeah, you succeed at chopping off her hand. And she just collapses immediately into a smoldering heap. You're not sure if she's dead or alive. She's literally like smoking. Can make a roll, actually.
I look at Okri.
I might I might shout, "Seamstress is on fire."
It's a distant. What?
I think it's fine.
Henrik, you probably like let in to look. You don't think she's breathing.
Okay. Well,
I presume Kruger and Boniface are now in the room as well, so you're welcome to.
I don't think I'd walk into a room that was on fire.
No.
I also tried to be like, don't worry about it now. It's probably all right if you're busy.
I mean, I think I might be in the doorway.
I mean, if there was a, I don't suppose there are sort of buckets of water lying around in the room with.
Yeah, you could probably find a pail of water. Yeah.
Right. Okay. In which case, I'll be stood there with a small bucket of water.
Isn't this a character like a definition of a character that you wouldn't?
What, the assassin? I mean,
Never mind.
there's a whole sort of information angle.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was hoping someone can interrogate her.
It's frustrating not to be able to interrogate her, but it's not exactly like you're like, oh god, we have to save her life. Well, she's dead. There's probably a moment in the room when you're all just a bit shocked.
Well, at least we know where the ring is.
Yes.
What else? What other items were there? I've forgotten it.
There was a vial of blood, or a blood-like substance, and the good doctor's diary.
Mm-hmm.
I suppose this is proof that the assassin and everything else are all related, which is predictable.
You said that Sam, the one of the grave robbers was in prison, but has
Yes, that one appears to have gone or escaped or been torn to shreds. You don't know. Wherever they are, they're not here.
I will turn to the apprentices and the widow and say, tell us what happened.
I think after a moment, the young woman apprentice, who seemed to be the most willing to speak with you, kind of steps forward and goes, There was a fight out there. I heard some awful noises, and then these creatures walked in. 7, 8 of them, something like that. They all seemed to gather together and start just tearing at the bar. I don't know why they didn't. I mean, I don't even know if they could speak, but they didn't say anything. None of us talked to them. They went straight for hers at the back first. She didn't seem. She seemed scared, to be honest. I don't think they were exactly working together, but she stayed at the back of the bars, as if she was worried they were going to kill her. But the moment they tore them off, they just turned and started tearing at other bars in the room, seemingly sort of at random. They didn't touch ours. I don't know why. Well, one of them did a bit. They took hers off next, but she didn't move. Meanwhile, when they stopped focusing on the seamstress, was it that assassin lady? When they stopped focusing on her, she darted out the room quick as a flash. Oh, she did stop briefly to bash into that drawer over there as well. And as you look over, you see like there's like a hefty wooden like table with like a not a huge padlock, but a small padlock on the front of it, which has been broken open and the drawer's opened. And as you look in, you can see the book. Go on, Johnny. Sorry, you were muted.
I was just going to say I'll go over while they're having the conversation.
Yeah, that's fine. You in the drawer, Okra, you see the vial of red liquid and the book.
Okay. Both here.
Good. I will I stab through the remains of the halfling's hand.
It just
And then
it turns like ash, actually.
ah, damn it. I didn't want to pick the ring up. I'm leaving it for now.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing.
That seems fair after what you just seen.
Yep. After everything that's happened.
Mm-hmm.
You say Why didn't they open your cells?
To be honest, watching them, it didn't seem like they had a plan or agenda. They just kind of came in and started tearing at things. I don't really know why they were opening cells at all, though. As I say, one of them did like bash at our cell for a moment, but then they all just sort of meandered out. And as you look around, you see that it does kind of track. Like while the seamstress's cell has been completely torn off, you can see that the one with the widow in is sort of just like half pulled off, enough she could get out, but she didn't. And the other one is similar, just sort of like hanging off its hinges a bit. And actually, one of the empty cells has been similarly bashed open.
So who do we report this to? If the captain of the guard is out of commission and we have...
The captain of the guard is here. He's leaning against the doorway up above and goes,
good to see you on your feet.
well, they certainly did a number on me.
Believe me, it could have been worse than we thought it was.
Yeah.
I killed something I thought was you.
Glad you dealt with them. I got rid of one of the creatures, but I saw 4 of my men just in front of my eyes. A creature, some sort of monstrous, hideous pink thing, leapt through the window and started screeching and throwing, I don't know what it was, like some sort of flaming liquid at people. I dived under a table, but a few of my people, well, that's what it did to them.
Well, the seamstress is dead.
Oh, I
Try to use the ring.
suppose it's better than she escaped.
She did that as well, but
I suppose I have to thank you for that again, then.
if you must.
What a
None
mess.
of us are going to be able to ask her any questions, though. I can't help but feel that she was related to all of this.
I think we should find Sebastian.
That Furstenrecht lad, what's he got to do with all this?
Well, he was out by the barn. We were there earlier on. Managed to destroy more of these abominations. I think they were called into existence by some unhinged wizards. But he was there. Sebastian was there. He fought with us for a time. But then coming back here, he seems to have disappeared. So
Interesting. Lad's always sticking his nose in all sorts of places. Can't say I care for him much, but go on then, see if you can find him. I'll try and sort things out here. You're all right, Ockery. He says, look at your arm.
I will be, I'm sure.
Very well. I think maybe like he like reaches into a drawer and throws you like a sling for your arm. Clearly seeing that you're just like this.
Don't touch the ring.
I won't. I'll keep an eye on it.
one of the there are people due to arrive at town to investigate this, aren't there? Are they due soon?
Yeah, I don't know exactly when. Inquisitor in a group, I think. Tomorrow, I'd assume, but it's even a fast ride from outdoors going to take. Well, we'll have to see.
I've had a problem knowing who to trust these last few hours. Who can we speak to if the first arrest
It's fine. It's fine.
first arrests, crikey, are, well, if they are involved? Do we just hang on until the Inquisitor is here?
That'll probably be best. It'll be above my head. They basically own this town. But given all that's happened, it should be, well, questions need answering.
I'll look around at the others and well, what's the plan then? What shall we do?
Did the pub
One
burn
quick-
down?
The pub did not burn down. And you're also pretty knackered, it's safe to say, but it's up to you if you want to keep going, obviously.
I would like to go check on Turg and the forge.
Actually, at that point, Turg is actually like nearby, not in here because it's difficult to get in. Buildings aren't designed for Turg, but Turg is actually like outside the front of the guardhouse, like leaning on the door
Okay.
like this. So could probably half hear this conversation. Turg goes, "All right, boss."
I'd say good to hear your voice, but wouldn't want to get too friendly. How's the forge?
Last I saw it was all right, boss. I can go have a look if you want.
Do that and then get yourself some food and sleep.
Oh, thanks, boss. Stomps off.
Mrs. Liederman, as part of your import business, did you ever have dealings with the Furstenrecht family?
This is the widow, for those that don't remember her name, by the way, because it was Dr. Lederman at the funeral. I think she kind of freezes for a moment looking at you and then goes, yes. I mean, many people enjoy recreational drugs.
And how did you find them?
I mean,
Good
I suppose
customers?
It
Strange
was
customers?
mostly the servants. It's not exactly like the Countess comes down to the docks and does a shady dealing under the table, is it? I saw
they
the Count's boy once. Well, I say boy, he'll be the... Sorry, the Countess's boy once. I say boy, he'll be the Count now. So
Would
that's
that
the dad
be
of
Sebastian's father.
Sebastian's father, yeah. Yeah, she nods at that, because obviously you're not certain of that.
Did they ever buy anything unusual?
Not... I mean, I don't do unusual stuff, really. Just mostly Ranulph's Delight, past the tariffs and all that. Look, I heard you talking about poisons and stuff. Nothing to do with me.
Oh, that's not what I'm questioning. I'm more wondering, as someone who has seen the dark underbelly of the family, what your impression of them was.
Like any nobles, I'd say. Don't look at us folks if they can avoid it. Enjoy owning most of the town and the money it makes them. Extravagant parties. Sometimes, I suppose, the occasional eccentric. I don't know what to tell you.
But not obvious cultists.
No, I don't think so. Taltha comes round. Taltha opens another drawer on that desk and goes, "Oh, by the way, I found this might be helpful." And it is an order from the docks for basically like 8 barrels of the poison you were looking for, signed by the what's his name, Fürstenrecht, the Count Fürstenrecht, which you can now see as Count Ruprecht von Fürstenrecht.
Interesting.
Although it won't be signed as Count because the Countess wasn't dead when he signed it. Sorry.
I can't remember if
Yeah, I don't know.
counts and countesses' sons have automatic titles.
Viscounts?
Right. Yeah, maybe. I think that's a different title. I'm not sure that's a direct. I don't know. Anyway.
I don't know. It probably depends on when and who and where. Who knows?
No, I don't think so. I think it's all pretty... These things are notoriously straightforward.
Taltha will just give it to you, Henrik. He's not going to keep this.
Okay.
Should help.
Yes. Thank you.
Anything else they want to do in the guardhouse?
I don't think so.
Mm-hmm.
No, seamstresses no longer needs guarding.
That pile of ash is not going to escape anytime soon, unless there's a breeze in here.
There doesn't happen to be a spare pair of boots anyway, does there?
There'll be a barracks.
Yeah, I think you could find some guard boots.
I don't want any Vimes boots. I don't want boots made of the thinnest cardboard. I know these guards.
They're not great quality and they're not very comfy. You want to replace them soon, but yeah, you can.
Well, I'm used to. I'm Boniface. I'm used to not great quality, but yeah.
Yeah, you can find some crappy boots.
Good.
That
I'm gonna chuck away those boots.
Justin was right. The as Jonny has put, the eldest son of a count bears the father's basically backup title, which is usually a viscountcy.
Excellent.
So it's not automatic.
Classic.
It's just that they usually also have it.
Also have that title, got it, because they granted it.
Vicomte.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I'm also going to get my horse that has been at town for like ages with all of my shit on it that I've
Your
not
horse-
had for this. I've not had any of my things for this
So
adventure,
sorry.
and I'm going to collect
That-
them.
That's otherwise known as a Sam GM moment, which I've done to people in the past. Also, the
Yes.
whole you haven't leveled
Me!
up yet. Just go to sleep. Just go to sleep, guys. Just go to sleep to level up. Oh, I've been so mean to you this
We've
whole
been awake for 3 weeks. I mean, is the horse still alive? Is the
Yeah,
It
the
better
motor's
be.
totally
it's not
fine.
burnt?
And there's
That
like
was
a
all
stable.
of my expenditure
There's
for
like
the
a
last
stable a bit out of
campaign.
town which has been untouched, and then actually the stables are basically still open. They're like just like, what is going on? But they're far enough out of town; they haven't really been involved in any of this.
You don't want to know.
Yeah, you can collect your horse. What's your horse called?
Horse.
Okay, it's
Like,
called-
I mean, like, it's just called probably horse. It doesn't have a fancy name.
got it.
Boniface is not one for any kind of.
Boniface has acquired horse,
Mhm.
and wanders over to you all. What are you doing now?
Rest.
Yeah,
Oh,
I think
really
if
vote.
there's
The
no
village
immediate
is-
sign of Sebastian, I think.
Is the town still on fire?
No,
Yeah.
the fires have been put out
Okay, right.
by this
Okay.
point. It was, as I say, it was only a few buildings, and nothing is like. Actually, I'll tell you what. Yeah, it's also started raining quite heavily now, which has helped. So
Oh, great! Even
Okay,
better.
the place
And
is
there's,
gone.
and there's no like audible screaming of people continuing to be attacked
It
by
seems
pink
like the
horrors.
chaos has abated.
Okay,
Nice.
then yeah, probably rest.
Mhm.
Yeah, after a quick patrol, just a sort of a quick once over
Mhm.
to
Yeah,
ensure
that's
that
good.
nothing else is going to leap out. Yeah, meet up with the knight again. Oh, they're in a different inn. Okay.
Yeah, apparently they are in a different inn. I'm trying to actually remember what the name of the inn was. It's been a while
Oh,
since I know
yeah,
that one.
Was it something Griffin related?
Oh, it was the Demigriff. It was the Demigriff. That's right. Thank you. Yeah, so you return to the Demigriff, where it's safe to say there's a commotion. People are a bit like worried, but stressed out. People seem to have been hiding in this place actually, but there's also been people showing up kind of bleeding and injured, and some people on tables and such. But it's no one's immediately in danger. There is actually just like the barkeep's just serving hot food as stew to anyone who wants it free, which is nice. So maybe you grab some of that.
Free. Wow.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
doing the Uber thing of charging 10 times the.
No, apparently this place is being kind. I feel like it's one of those, you're worried for your life. You're not a fighty person. Maybe someone saved you and you're just like, stew for everyone.
Tonight the drinks are on me, and
Exactly.
I never financially recovered.
That was it. It's the end of the Demigriff. Oh,
Well, if they like give away all of their stock during demon attack, then they can claim it back on insurance.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it works, right?
Does it count as act of God, though, is the question.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Boniface is going to fall right back into his usual pattern, and will make sure that all of Kruger's items are brushed and polished, that his bed's warmed for his return, for his eventual.
Are you really
going back
doing
to
that
bed.
before you fall asleep after this long, horrible day?
It is probably an incredibly soothing activity that
I see,
reminds
I
him of
see.
normalcy.
That makes
He
sense.
hasn't he hasn't been a servant for like
Ma-
nearly a year.
Make me an
And it's been
endurance roll.
traumatic.
Make me an endurance roll to do a good job of it, rather than rush it and fall asleep because you're knackered.
79. That's
Good.
not a great roll.
It's not going to be good enough, I don't think, because even at a
no,
plus
it's
20, which I
not.
was going to give you.
Well, with a plus 20, it's
Yeah.
only just a fail, but yeah.
Yeah, you're pretty sure you've done a good job, and you collapse asleep, and
Fuck
then
it.
in your dreams you realise that you didn't shine those boots.
Didn't shine them well enough.
Everyone can make me an average, so a plus 20 endurance test to heal wounds equal to your toughness bonus.
Plus 20, sorry, Sam.
Yes, plus 20 endurance.
And do you get anything for extra success levels on the heal?
It does not say in the rules that you do.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, success level plus your toughness bonus. Yes, absolutely, you do.
Oh, perfect. Plus 20. So, for example, let's use me as a case study because everything is definitely fine. So I've got 65 in endurance.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd be rolling under 85, and I rolled 48. So I would get 4
Yep.
plus my toughness bonus, which is 5,
Yep.
which is 9.
9
Nice.
back. Night's
Wh-
rest.
When did we? Sorry, did we regain our fortune? Did we say at the start of the session?
Yes, this session.
Right,
you
cool.
gained your fortune.
Then I re-rolled my 97 to get a 27 or 21.
Go ahead.
So I have healed all my wounds.
Did we regain our fate, Sam? Asking for a friend.
what are people's goals at the moment? Do you feel like you've come close to achieving?
Is it not motivation that you need to achieve?
Oh, sorry, have you done a motivation yet, John? We had this conversation.
No.
My motivation is to succeed through others, and
Johnny,
I always feel like I do.
objective before next session. Create a motivation so you can regain your faith.
Can that be a short-term goal?
Find motivation.
Find motivation in life. Yeah. Which is
You
much.
could say
Go on.
motivation is small business owner, and protecting your forge would.
I mean, that's more an objective, though. Motivation's more a bit more
Yeah.
esoteric than a specific, singular objective.
Yeah.
Motivation's
So
more like,
it can be literally anything, right?
It could be like, save people you care about, or, make money. That could be motivation, or something like that, a more general concept that might happen repeatedly.
Have less than 5 conversations a day.
It's a great roleplay character.
Stop being so damn friendly.
I'll tell you what it should be. Hold your liquor, hold your alcohol. That should be it, shouldn't it? Anyone complete their objectives, by the way?
I mean, I have protect my new home.
Yeah, I think
sounds
that's
like
been
it is.
achieved.
Great.
You will go
Did
back to
I-
your board maybe to sleep, actually, and it is fine. So,
Did I win over my friends? Question mark.
what
Could
does the party
be.
think?
Hang on, which
No.
friends? The wizard friends?
There are no friends.
Yeah,
I like
the ones that are dead.
Do you know any friends, Boniface? You fucking nerd.
Oh god.
No, not the wizard. The party is the friend. I'm trying to win back my reputation from associating with death magicians.
I mean, you've
No,
killed-
then right, got it.
I mean, you did kill some of them, or at least
Did
help
kill
him
some of
killing
them.
some
And
It's
you-
true.
you
And
say-
you had that healing draft, which was not poison, so that was
That's
good.
true.
I mean, Henrik wasn't really paying attention, so can't
Boniface,
really.
but
Boniface also stayed behind to try and burn down all the stuff in that place, which is probably quite.
That's true. I
Yeah.
did burn it
Yeah.
all down.
Go on, you can take your objective. It sounds like.
Amazing.
Anyone else got an objective to throw in there?
Mine
Well,
is to investigate assassin leads, which is now impossible because my lead is dead.
I'm sorry. To be fair, it could have been avoided if you noticed the thing, so it's not entirely my
Yeah.
fault.
I did just throw her in a sack.
You
so-
did just throw her in a sack, yeah.
The-
And I
the
had
metagame here
pre-planned
is-
the ring thing, so it's not entirely my fault.
The metagame here is clearly finding objectives that Sam can't somehow stymie.
There you go. So you're going to have to choose a new objective, I think, for now, John. 'Cause I
Yeah.
don't think there's nothing else to go on that from.
Because mine is still keep Gustav Viles safe.
You've
and
kept
I
him
was
safe
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, good.
because you can't endlessly.
Just the rest of his life.
Yeah.
You must have a peaceful death at age 74, and then you've achieved it.
Kruger stood by his bed. Oh dear.
Okay, cool.
Excellent.
Now you have slept, so if you wish, we can do XP up leveling and spending. I know some people had some stuff they might have wanted. However, I also know that's quite a chunky thing to do, so we can have that for next session.
Yeah.
But if there's anything specific you were like, oh, I really want to get this, just you can do it now.
Maybe.
I think my next thing is actually moving into my next level of
Mhm.
thingy bob, which he said that we need to get a sleep for. So, how much XP do we get for the short-term objective? Sorry,
50.
Yeah, thank you.
is that?
We haven't got any XP yet for this.
No,
adventure.
there's a massive chunk of XP. I was going to say I can actually do it now, or we could do it. Yeah, let's do it now. Why not? It's always fun to do XP stuff.
Why not?
So there's a few things that are unresolved, but that's because we haven't finished the plot yet. But since we're on a sleep and XP, so you have found information on necromantic goings on in Outlaw, and you have secured,
no shit.
and you have secured the ring, so that is 50 XP. each. You succeeded at preventing the summoning of a greater demon, which is 100 XP, which is basically mostly Boniface, but it's for everyone because it's a plotline thing.
You're welcome.
You destroyed the blue horrors, which is 50 XP. You managed to save 8 of the 9 captives of the cult, so that's 10 XP each, so 80 for that. Gustav is still alive, and I'm going to say that's a fine because you're probably past the point he's in danger now, so that's 20 XP. We'll leave over Sebastian for now. I mean, do you want
300
as well? So far, you destroyed one of the 2 pink horrors, so that's 25 XP for that one.
What happened to the other one?
It escaped.
It escapes.
Mm-hmm. You didn't do that.
For that, sorry. 20, was that
25 for
25?
for that pink horror. You did not do that. You did not prevent Weisbrook from burning.
Well,
Because you could have caught. Did you catch there was a notice to spot the pink horrors ages back in the story to spot them before they even got to Weisbrook? And I give you 2
I
chances.
remember we like rolled loads of things and we didn't see things all the effing time, every day of the week.
Yeah. It was early on when you were like leaving the cave originally. Oh no, it was when you were arriving at the cave, I think, originally.
Yeah, I got after leaving the cave, I spotted that Weisbrook was on fire. So that I spotted, but
we're going to leave that one for now because that might come up later. You
Definitely
saved.
make a note of which ones you're saving, Sam.
I am, yeah. This one's going down here. You did succeed at saving Weisbrook from the Accursed, which is 100 XP.
Okey-dokey. Wow.
how much for saving Okri's Forge?
That's included.
Okay.
That's 99 of the 100 XP.
You did not catch
Fire?
Seamstress.
Uh,
Oh no! I'll tell you
Seems
what.
pre-
No, you're
Seems
right.
pretty dead to me.
You got
Like,
half
it's
of
like-
the. You got half of the XP for that because you did catch her, but you didn't get anything from her info. So you got 25 XP of the 50.
we got a ring.
Yeah, that was already included.
There was a ring thing earlier.
And save the knight in the square, 10 XP each. So that's 20 XP for that. And that is all your XP. There's more story beats that might give you more, but we'll see if you hit them.
So
400.
that's
It's
to
like hidden
me,
achievements.
I know, exactly. What did you say, John?
is that 470?
Yes,
Yeah.
that. Not what I just said. Everyone ignore what I just said.
What did you say?
Nothing.
Nothing. No XP.
Ignore the nothing.
It's
that
more
is-
than no
This is-
XP.
It's good this isn't recorded.
Yeah, that was all that topped up total to nothing. That's how much you got. Yeah, that's right. I'm
It
sorry.
seemed a shame that we're short of 500, Sam. Cruel, I would say.
Well,
and
you're just
rude.
going to have to hit the last points.
If it's not a round number at the end of it, I don't even want the XP.
Okay. You have a restful night. It is peaceful. There is no drama in the morning. You wake up probably late morning at this point. 3 of you in the tavern, I assume, or maybe Hendrix at the forge with Ockery. I don't know.
I was staying at the forge anyway, and
Yeah. So Kruger and Boniface, and of course Gustav Val also at the tavern, and Henrik and Ockery stay at the forge. When you wake at the forge, Turg is still absolutely fast asleep, conked out front, snoring very loudly away, sufficiently loudly that you can't talk within about 10 meters of Turg because you just can't hear each other. Are you all? I'll skip over. Are you all presumably meeting up again at the tavern perhaps this morning?
Sure.
Yeah, I think so.
yeah, I will maybe lightly hint that with the state of Ockery's arm, buying breakfast is on me.
I will say, thanks, and look quite uncomfortable, probably.
Henrik will look away and say nothing else for the rest of the morning.
Physically and emotionally uncomfortable.
Love it. It's worth saying, I can't remember what your negative from your injured arm was, Johnny, but until you actually get surgery, that will not recover. So you can recover your wounds, but you cannot recover that because it was a serious injury. Whereas yours, I think, does set it recovers, doesn't it, Kruger? Right, so.
Yes, and after a certain number of days. I now can't remember how many days, but it was more than an adventure's worth.
I know it was bleeding conditions, but I think there was something else to it as well, wasn't there, Johnny? It was. Do you have something noted down?
No, the bleeding went.
Yeah, maybe it was just a bleeding one. I seem to remember it was like torn, so I kind of assumed there was a long-term negative, but maybe I'm wrong.
I'll have a look through the stuff while we're...
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. If there isn't, that's fine. It might just have been a bleeding one, but a lot of them have like longer-term things, like Steve's did, and many of which say need surgery to fix. Okay, so yeah, you meet up in the tavern. It's late morning. There's a breakfast. Go on.
It was until I get surgery, any associated arm damage you receive will inflict a bleeding condition as the wound reopens.
There you go. That's it. Perfect. Cool. So yeah, it's a
reliable
hammering
doctor
arm.
on
So
site.
you feel like you aren't going to be hammering until you get someone to look at your arm. And you meet up at the tavern. Yeah, go for it. There's a roast this morning. It's actually quite a bright, sunshiny day as you make your way to the demigriff.
I'll certainly
Nod
be.
at everyone.
I'll be tucking into a healthy portion of breakfast. Still looking kind of sore because not at full health yet, but enjoying being able to not get attacked by things and have a relatively civilized start to the day. How are you all feeling then?
Annoyed.
Well, that's fair, I guess.
If I'm honest, I'm not really sure what happened. I mean, there were lots of people I didn't really know who they were. Everyone was on fire, and all of my friends dead. This whole thing's been very confusing.
So they were your friends.
We saved 8 of them.
Take that XP out again from that.
You can't take it back. You can't. I'm going to spend it before you can, Sam. Yeah.
Well, I suppose there's a lesson there. Yes. Let us know in future if you're going to be meeting up with any large group of cultists. Please, it would save us some time.
Noted.
But yeah, what do we do? What do we do now? Do we try to find that Sebastian?
Are Henrik's eyes still bloodshot?
No, I don't think Henrik's eyes are bloodshot anymore. I think you're recovered. Maybe you looked quite tired, but to be fair, everyone looks quite tired. So, Henrik, you haven't mentioned anything about what you saw, have you?
No.
Okay, cool. Just checking. Sorry.
That might be because John has forgotten, but... Oh, no, I remember now.
The visions, yes. Would you like me to go through any of it if you did want to bring it up? But you don't have to. You might be choosing to keep still, and that's fair.
Could you give me a refresher?
Yeah, so basically a lot of it was about strings being pulled, the 4 of you all being pulled together, pulled on strings like puppets. There wasn't really any words to go with this. It was just kind of like a play on stage was what you were watching. And then you were all like being controlled in this play and like banging against each other and banging against other things. And then I think that was kind of mostly what you got, other than you got that the creature introduced Egrim to you as Egrim Salzenhar.
Okay.
And it's worth saying, when it was doing the play, you definitely got the feeling that it was the feeling in your head was that you have been played by them, effectively. It felt like it was a part of what was doing this to you.
Okay.
Henrik just stopped, like halfway
It's like
between.
thousands of yards air.
Dripping. Just down front. It's like, I remembered something.
Henrik?
I am not sure we will find Sebastian in Weisbrook.
What makes you say that?
The skull that was talking to us. Egrin. Egrin Salzenhaar. When we first met Sebastian, he said that his friend Salzenhaar had warned him about the wizards. That Salzenhaar had been the one to tell him about the meeting on the outside of town.
That the family Salzenhaar are aware of, like, culty stuff going on, and he's been talking to them about strange things here in Weisbrook. That was the gist of what he said.
I did think that was odd at the time.
So you're suggesting he was, what, keeping an eye on? So he knew about the summoning and was watching it to make sure it completed?
Or was waiting there for us?
How do you mean?
To make sure we went where Egrin wanted us to go.
I don't know what to make of that.
We should call in to the Furstenrecht household to inquire after our friend, obviously.
Sounds like it should be a delicate conversation to have. Perhaps. Do you think it was just Sebastian, or do you think the family itself is compromised?
There's nothing suspicious about this family at all. I don't know what you're talking about.
I cannot think of a credible reason why an innocent family would order 8 barrels of Black Lotus poison. That is not a rat problem. That is mass poisoning problem.
Perhaps we should just turn this over to the Inquisitor then. What can we do?
We are assuming that this will be a real Inquisitor.
I suppose. Yes. It's been a long night. I'd probably turn to... Is Gustav with us?
Yeah, he can be.
Yeah, I'd kind of like to... in the event that a town is potentially under the thumb of a massively corrupt and evil family who might or might not be planning on 8 barrels. Yeah, that's a lot of poison. Necromantic. Given that we have just been near a pretty sizable ritual, Kruger doesn't understand what's involved in these things, but yeah, there are certain sort of concept. Basically,
You're asking Gustav Weil
Yes.
who are the authorities you would go, hey, this is a problem.
Gustav, what would you do in this situation, essentially?
Other than directly inquiring with the colleges of magic, which would perhaps be my personal choice, the official route would be the Emperor's Inquisitorial Service, yes. I only say I might prefer one of the orders because they are likely to have a better understanding of these things.
Do you have any speedy methods of communication? Is this, if we presume that more has been compromised than we have seen, if we second guess this Inquisitor, do you think is there anything you can do to?
Other than ride back on a fast horse, I'm afraid not. I must confess I was actually thinking of riding back. Today I feel well enough. But that does depend if you don't feel you need me anymore. I was planning to release you from your service, given this job is finished, so.
Well,
And of course, payment will be present.
Is it finished?
Well, my role here was specifically in investigating the necromantic connection. I have noted contacts from that book, and I'm aware who I need to hunt down. However, as you say, there has been arguably a much greater threat to Weisbrook. I do believe for now the threat has been curtailed, but that does not mean there is not more work to be done here. Assuming I would go back and report to my mentor at the college, at the he is from the Purple College, isn't he? Yeah. I would go back and report to my mentor post haste upon return, but this is not really my area of expertise. I'm sure they will want to send someone to investigate this. But you should be able to trust in the Inquisitors, one way or the other. But if you wish me to stay for now, I can come with you. I acknowledge this is a pressing matter.
I think getting word out is important.
Agreed. And to be perfectly frank, I don't really feel like sending this via a message.
No, indeed.
So, if you would be comfortable, I can ride post haste to Altdorf, probably get there by nightfall, and one way or the other, this will be dealt with as quick as possible by the proper authorities. Are you comfortable with this?
I think that's. I think it's the best course of action.
As you may have noticed, I was a little over my head, to be honest, with these creatures. Kruger doesn't say anything.
Is there any way we can tell the veracity of an Inquisitor without getting cut down ourselves? I suppose.
To be perfectly honest, I don't know what to say to you. This is more or less out of our hands at that point. They're appointed by the highest of the inner council of the Emperor. What am I supposed to say? Anyone could be corrupt, of course. I'm sure I'll see you again. I think at that, if there's nothing else, he'll stand up, finish off his small amount of roast meat that he was eating, and head upstairs to start packing up. And a few minutes later, head out the door with a curt nod to you.
Bid him farewell.
He does drop a small pack, like a small Hessian bag of coin for you, Kruger. And inside you find, you've been paid by him before this point as well. This isn't the only time he's paid you, but inside you find 5 gold crowns.
Nice. Boniface, how much was that tincture?
Damned if I know. Don't worry about it, Kruger.
I'll flick you a gold coin.
I'll be eating lunch for a month on this.
Is there anything else? Sorry, John, you were about to say.
I was going to say, so our plans are to wait for the Inquisitor, to visit the first Nurak household, but also to suggest finding someone in the house who can give medical care for some people in the party.
The only person you knew who could provide medical care in the village was that lady in the woods, Wilma. You're not sure about her surgery ability, but other than the doctor, of course, who has passed away. I guess his apprentices, perhaps, if you trust them, are currently in jail.
I'd probably go see Wilma.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense. Is that your next course of action, or are you going to go together to somewhere first?
I would see what everybody else wanted to do.
I think active. Sorry, go ahead, Steve.
Getting Archery patched up would certainly be a. I think Kruger would be in favour of that, given how close we were to death in those various fights. Don't really want to take chances. And I think in terms of approaching the first Nurak, it doesn't feel like a thing that I think subtlety and yes, I'm not sure Kruger can assist in terms of if Kruger turns up, I think there are probably going to be better, quieter, more subtle approaches.
Then again, Kruger being a noble might be very helpful if you actually want to engage the family.
Kruger's not a noble.
But you appear as one.
He looks like a noble.
I mean, from that's your whole thing, isn't it? From the outside, you look like a noble.
I guess,
so
yes.
Functionally, if you actually want to talk to the family, you're probably the only hope of that. But if you are happy just talking to servants, then...
I mean, if... Well, I suppose I could talk to them, but I'm going to need some prompting, I think, in terms of what do we want to... What are our aims? Are we simply asking after Sebastian? Do we just have a general conversation? Henrik, are you hoping just to pick up on hidden intent, or?
I believe if you inquired about our friend Sebastian and his well-being, perhaps we may find another line of questioning that we could pursue as part of conversation. If not, I was intending to offer my professional services as a rat catcher, for I have heard rumors that they may have an issue.
Very well.
If yes. Nothing else.
I suppose I better I was going to say, I suppose I better clean up my armor a bit, but depending on how much Boniface did.
Yeah. It's an effort has been made to clean it.
Okay.
Boniface, are you
Yes.
coming with us or staying with Okri?
Well, I think, to be honest, Okri probably needs some help cleaning up the forge after all the damage.
I was wondering if you might accompany us and do your usual trick of going missing.
Sure, I can have a look. I don't think I go missing that often.
Hmm.
But I can try.
So Kruger, Boniface, and Henrik gonna head to the Furstenrecht's house, and Okri, you're gonna go see if you can get a bit of healing from Wilma. Then, so we'll start with Okri heading into the woods. Okri, you head towards the clearing on the edge of the woods that you know Wilma's coming from. You hear a few shouts as you head over there. A couple of things. One is like the voice of an old lady, and the other one is the voice of a booming voice of a man. Maybe you start hurrying over a bit, concerned about.
Yeah, I'll pick my pace up.
Yeah. As you get to the clearing, you see. I don't really know if you know his name, but you see the Knight of the White Wolf, who Kruger previously went to talk to. I think you might have seen him in passing at the clearing. He's standing back a bit. He has a large great axe drawn and is standing looking at Wilma. Wilma is on her knees, like rocking backwards and forwards and muttering to herself.
I will say, excuse me, and stride forward.
He will turn around and go, no, wait. She's not well or something. I don't know. Come see.
Yeah, I'll check.
He lowers his axe. He's not like threatening you with it or anything.
Okay.
He looks like he's genuinely scared, actually, slightly.
Okay. Yeah, I'll head over and see what I see.
Yeah, she as you kind of wandering over, she suddenly like screams just upwards, and then she crouches right back down, and then just starts muttering to herself again. And as you get closer, you can hear her muttering. Where's my notes? Muttering and gibbering about the crow, watching, so many watchers, watching, game, everything, game, the crow, and she like screaming to herself and gripping at her forehead. She's like kind of like got like claw marks on her. It looks like she's been doing this for a while.
Okay. I'm going to use my good arm that doesn't have a part hole in it and just put my hand on her shoulder.
Yeah.
See if she reacts.
Okay. Sorry, just give me one moment.
It's always fine when GMs say, sorry, just give me one moment.
Yeah.
And then roll dice.
Some
sort
all of a sudden, there is an absolutely hideous stench that washes over you as you touch her. It's foul to the point of, actually, I think you're going to have to make an endurance roll to not immediately throw up at this smell. Just typical, so plus 20.
Yep, all good.
Okay, but you step back. It's like horrid, absolutely awful. And you realize it's coming from her. It's not natural in any way.
It's like a corruption thing.
Like a corruption, yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, you can't talk for a few moments while you're just like, and I think the Knight of the White Wolf takes a step towards you and goes, be careful. There's something very wrong with her.
I think I will say, stay with her a moment and head back and try and get these guys.
Yeah, that makes sense. You're kind of just meandering up towards the house, so I think Okri probably catches you up before you get there. you hear Okri yell.
Are we treated to the side of Okri running?
Something's wrong with the healer woman. Corruption, I think. The knight that you were speaking to, Kruger, is there keeping an eye on her. But I think we should try and help.
It's not one thing, it's another. Very well. I suppose the Festnarak can... I can't say that damn word. Festnarak can wait.
To give him a nickname. Yeah, you turn around and you see as Okri, as was described to Jonny in the clearing, more or less, nothing changed. It's worth saying, Kruger, Henrik, and Boniface, you don't smell anything yet. Okri, you can still smell the stench.
Also, on the way, I would have told what she was sort of rambling.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, you only hear it if you get close to her. She's quiet now, but you know she's muttering, but you can't hear her until you go close. Is anyone going to... Well, what are you doing?
Can I see...
I don't...
So are we all there, or...?
Yeah, I'm assuming you came back.
Can I see anything with the winds of magic that is odd?
Make a roll, I think.
Cool. Yes. Would you like to make a perception roll?
Yes, it is just perception with this, isn't it? And plus 20.
Okay, cool. I think I pass, but with not so many success levels. I think I get like a plus... I think because I have the... I think I get a plus 10 on it because I've got my feat. That is... The second time, I think, just gives you plus 10. I'm sorry.
Yeah, okay, cool.
So, I rolled good, I think. I think I pass with... Was it a flat roll, or was it plus...
It was plus 20.
So I passed one success level.
Cool. So you've kind of become somewhat attuned when you focus into it to see the winds. And it doesn't really look like... Because you can see it, obviously, you know, everyone could see it if they knew how to focus on it. It's not like your eyes are different. It's sort of like almost like a very subtle bluish tinge and a heat haze in the air that you can see kind of, and it is swirling around her visibly. And actually, when you get close, you can sort of hear a crackle as well. It doesn't seem like she's choosing this. It seems like she's trapped in it somehow. And as you kind of focus and just stare and maybe frown for a second, it feels like suddenly the ground underneath you just gives way and you suddenly fall on your back. Nothing, it doesn't do you any harm. It just catches you by surprise. But you know that is a feedback from the winds of magic. Effectively, that was a minor miscast upon you.
Okay, so what? So I'm a bit confused. What does that like? Does that mean that what can I intimate from this? Yeah,
she is trapped. She's not choosing to maintain this. Something has happened to her.
Okay.
He didn't get that much success level, so I think basically
fine,
you think she tried to do something or was engaged by something and something went wrong and now she's stuck and is kind of acting as if this continues, you know she will die and she might die and cause many bad things to happen as well in the process.
Can I make a law magic roll to try and work out what to do?
How to stop it? Yeah, go on.
Okay, I rolled an 8.
Okay, that's good.
And what is now 45? So that is 4 success levels.
So what the easiest thing to do is to kill her. Obviously, that's not preferable, but that would solve this problem immediately. Because there is a real danger with her in this state. A harder thing to do would be to yourself or something absorb the winds of magic that are swirling around her to pull them away from her. Because if you can stop that kind of coalescing to her, you prevent this situation effectively.
Would that be kind of like similar to kind of like doing a kind of dispelling magic?
Yeah,
like
it's
counterspell.
Similar. Yeah, effectively. I think there are actually rules in the book about draining the winds of magic. But I haven't really looked at them too much.
I can double check.
Yeah.
Do you think there'll be the base book or?
I think it is the base book. Yeah. But let me
I
scroll.
have been. I would say while I was sleeping, I was thinking deeply about the meaning of magic. So I am slightly better at
There we go.
working with magic.
237.
Yeah, I'm on there right now.
Perfect. Yeah.
Is it going to be
Repelling the winds. It's just about clothes and stuff. That doesn't really tell you anything. Okay, yeah, it'll be dispelling.
Is it dispelling? Yeah,
it'll be dispelling. Yeah, for an actual test. Yeah.
Okay, I will need to make a language magic check. Luckily, I'm so much better at making language magic checks after my sleep.
I'm assuming while this is going on, while Boniface, everyone else is kind of stepping back and not acting anyway. But are you trying to do anything else? Because Boniface is like focusing on this situation, so I'm just checking the other players.
Yeah, I think I would have kind of like given a brief description of what exactly I think's going on as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like if there's any intimation that magic is involved, then Kruger will just be sort of, "Oh, this is a Boniface thing."
I'll tell you what, actually, Okri, because you got close to her, and anyone else who's really trying to have a close examine or maybe even touch her can roll a perception, but only if you're willing to go properly close. Let me know if you do that.
Yeah, what's the worst that could happen?
Mm-hmm.
I do not succeed.
Okay. Henrik?
Was there any modifier on that?
No, it's a flat.
That's a fail.
Okay. Henrik. Ooh, that's a high roll.
You're making me regret this.
Yeah, I am. I rolled a 97 on the miscast. Henrik, you're like reaching out close to her. You're having a close look, and suddenly you feel like a horrific grasp around the entirety of your body, as if an enormous hand is clenched around you, and you cannot breathe and you cannot move. And everyone else watching sees Henrik suddenly constrict tightly and make a gasping sound and move 6 feet into the air almost instantaneously, and then suddenly slam down hard into the ground, very painfully. Henrik, you take 8 wounds of damage.
Oh,
Yikes.
okay.
How many points?
8.
What?
I mean, that's, that'd be fine for me.
You do not get a critical damage.
Does
Do you
my
wanna hear how
armor
much spelling
factor
then?
into
No,
that?
you do. Toughness bonus and armor do not prevent it.
Wow.
Safe to say you are winded.
Okay. That's over half my hit points.
Do you want to hear how my spell magic roll works?
Oh no!
Sorry, you didn't. Neither of you won the perception, did you?
No.
Oh gosh. Okay.
There is no chance I'm going to try perception because there's
No thanks.
chance I get it. Yeah.
And I'm not rolling perception, am I?
No, you're doing your. How did it go then? How did you?
I got 5 success levels.
Okay.
I thought you were going to dump on us there, but
okay.
Clearly sleeping has made me a much better magician.
You've seen what's happened to Henrik, but you're focused on your task at hand. I feel like no. Have you rushed over to Henrik, Kruger, and Okri? Henrik is still right next to her.
No. If there's magic crap going on, after all I've seen in the last,
Cool.
I would have said, Boniface, whatever you're doing, do it quicker.
Something about Boniface, he just seems more intelligent today, more on it.
Sorry, Henrik, were you gonna?
I'll wait to hear if Okri does anything.
Cool. I think Okri has not. Okri's...
No, I'm also not running in because, like, the
You
same
want it to
thing
happen.
could just happen. Yeah.
The good old don't jump onto the electric lines to save the person being electrocuted.
Would it be worth doing an animal training roll to see if Rinda can drag me out by my
Yeah,
clothes?
go for it. That seems fair. Rinder is a small dog, so I think it's going to have to be a hard. I'm not going to give you any bonus because it will be Rinder's instinct, but Rinder is a small dog, so it's hard. So those two things negate each other.
3 success levels.
Okay, Rinder is slowly dragging you away.
He is
Rinda-
small but consistent.
Rinder is also whining at the same time. Not because Rinder is in pain, but because Rinder smells a bad smell. Yes. So, Justin, Boniface knows exactly how close you can go. You go just close enough that you are within easy reach of the atheist swirling around her. but not so close that you are likely to hit the feedback that Henrik was struck by.
Cool.
And you speak in the tongues of magic, and you basically, in practical sense, what you're doing is actually just kind of sweeping it away from her, slowly pulling it away. You're just kind of pushing it into things in your surroundings, so little bits into the trees, little bits into the earth, just trying to filter it away effectively in a safe manner. And because you rolled well, it is done in a safe manner.
Yeah, Kruger has lots of colourful things on him, doesn't he? I can put some in there.
Yeah, true. Yeah, you could totally use the colours in the surroundings to force it away, because the winds of magic obviously are all sorts of colours, but filtering them into the different elements will help. Maybe there's even just flowers and things you can use in the surrounding. Perhaps, folks, if you're kind of watching, perhaps you do notice occasionally just flower heads just kind of go and burning up in your surroundings, but nothing else happens. Small like sparks like popping up trees and things and stuff like that. Maybe little bits of the soil just lift up and fizzle and drop. This goes on for several minutes. I'd love to kind of imagine what Boniface's like movements are like.
Boniface has never done this shit before. But I think that like as a grey wizard, I think that this is like, you know, it's going to be relatively subtle, small, deliberate, and slow movements. That's kind of what it will be about.
Yeah, cool. That makes sense. Yeah, it's just kind of instinctive. I think you've had quite a lot of training, and you've had some experience of just watching and experiencing the winds of magic, but you've never really manipulated it like this as such. But it feels kind of natural now you're here. It doesn't feel as scary or difficult as you thought it might. And after a few minutes, it's done. Effectively, you've drawn out the magic of this place, and you kind of just sense it, getting the feel for it, and you realize if you now wanted to cast one of your cantrips, it would be very hard because there's none here. There's nothing to draw upon. And all of a sudden, Wilma, I think for this whole period, she's been kind of getting quieter and quieter and just slumping down to a small ball. And then suddenly she goes and collapses to her side and just vomits everywhere.
I think it was a success.
Check on Henrik now that...
Henrik safely... Actually, Henrik will have been next to you by this point anyway, because he will have been dragged back.
I'll move in and check on Wilma.
Yep.
And nod at Boniface as I pass.
So what was that about then?
I think that somebody made a mistake while trying to work with the magic here, and it all got a bit stuck.
Boniface, it's up to you whether you
unclogging.
It's up to you whether you want to reveal this or not, but you're absolutely certain she is a magic user.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm good. I'm good with my explanation. I unclogged a drain, a magic drain.
In fact,
in servants' terms.
You've got 5 successes. You're fairly sure she is an unregistered magic user. She's effectively an instinctual witch rather than someone who's been trained in her practice. But you don't have to say that at all.
Well, you know I'm a Sigmarite.
Yeah, I know you are.
And I will be making note of this.
Yeah, that's fine. Okri, as she, as you go up to see her, you see a small carved piece of wood flops from her hand. It is in the shape of a crow.
So I still don't have any idea what's happened here. I know
you don't know.
I think,
anything about what she was doing particularly. No, I don't think you're familiar. You know, maybe this is a
I
curse
might-
that just put upon her.
I might kick that away a bit.
Yeah, that's fine. You can do that.
And I'll kneel down. Is she sort of conscious, or is she passed out after vomiting?
Her eyes are open, but she doesn't seem very aware. She's sort of breathing heavily, and her eyes are kind of unfocused.
I think I might pick her up and take her inside.
Yeah, sure. Her shack's nearby, and she's small. You can do that without too much difficulty. She just kind of ends up flopping against you and not really responding as you carry her inside. The others of you have seen Okri kick away that small token. I go pick it up. Is anyone going to look at it, or are you just leaving?
Yeah, I'll have a look at it.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a token of dark magic. It's hand carved. It looks like it's hand carved by a person. Actually, it looks like it's been freshly carved.
Cool. I'll pocket that
Put it in the drawer.
to build the case.
When you touch it, you feel nauseous when you pick it up. But
Yeah,
there's
I'm
no
not
other
surprised. I'm gonna wrap it in like some cloth or
that's fine,
something. And
You kind of have the impression that if you were to fondle this for a while, it would be bad for you. But it's not dangerous just to have in your pack.
I'll bear that in mind. Glad I add that to the list of things not to fondle.
Good.
Like rings.
Boniface's parents, when he left home, gave him a. Oh gosh. Cool. Okri, she kind of seems to be more awake and aware as you lay her in the bed and goes, oh, "What's happened?" Well, Okri.
Yeah, I came to ask you for help with this, but you were rambling about a.
You're wounded.
Don't worry. You were rambling about a crow and a play, and you had hold of a.
She's already like trying to look at your arm, like, oh, let me see.
There was something corrupt in that thing that you were holding. Do you remember what happened?
And then she kind of goes thing, and then she's like, "No, I don't remember at all."
You were holding a carved wooden crow.
Is there a perceiving people's kind of whether they're lying or not in this? Yeah.
There's intuition.
Yeah, intuition. Yep. That sounds right. If anyone is in the room, you can roll an intuition now, which is going to be flat. Fairly challenging.
That is a no from me.
Got a 20. Oh, it's got 2 success levels, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
I think I probably would have picked myself up and walked in by now, and I got a 9 under 42.
Okay, Boniface and Henrik, she is lying. She knows what she was holding, and she's trying to hide that. Boniface isn't surprised by this, I think.
That's fine.
I don't think there's really anything else I can give you for that higher success, to be honest.
Well, anyway, Boniface there had to do something, make you better.
I heard all the commotion last night, and in the town, I was afraid. It was. Let me just collect myself for a few moments, and then I can take a look at your arm.
Do you want to be on your own?
Yes, if possible. She looks at all three of you.
I'll go outside.
Mm-hmm.
I will not.
Is Boniface also remaining, Justin?
So has she asked for some privacy? Was that what it was?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, I don't mind. She's gonna burn anyway. Like she's gonna have 5 minutes of privacy. I don't mind.
Amazing.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Go on, John. She just looks at you. Like she knows you heard her, so she's kind of like, yes. Do you have another question? But she hasn't said anything. Sort of that sort of look.
There are going to be questions about what happened last night and about the nature of the magic involved. And I think that perhaps it may be in someone's interest if they were not involved but could be implicated, to be honest if the right people ask questions.
You see her mouth kind of open and close, and then her jaw tenses. And then she opens her mouth and goes, yes. The Empire doesn't like my kind, you know.
I'm aware.
If anyone finds out about me, I'm going to have to leave. I don't want to leave this place. I think then maybe she looks down at her hands and goes, but I did make a mistake, didn't I?
What was it?
Whatever those stupid little wizards brought in, it was very frightening, you know. I had awful nightmares last night. And I woke to the screams. I had to know. So I listened. I shouldn't have. I could hear it on the winds. I don't suppose you'll understand.
Probably not. But I would like to hear what you have to say anyway.
It's fine, you'll have to do your duty. I'll disappear into the forest and make a life for myself somewhere else. They'll come here to find me, and that'll be that. I've had to move before. People don't like my kind.
I feel the need to warn you that there will be an Inquisitor appear in town at some point today.
Of course. I suppose I better leave quickly then.
Before you do you think you have the time to look at Okri?
Yes, of course. Come on,
Thank
Okri. I'm ready now, I suppose. No time like the present.
Head back in.
Yeah, she will. I'll make a roll for her. She will sit you down and she will get. She actually does have like metal surgical equipment in here, which I think you probably haven't seen before. And you're like, oh, didn't know you had these. Because she gets them out to attend to your arm. And she will roll okay. That is. Yep, that's 1 under her skill, so you are good. So that malice is gone. She hasn't asked for payment, but you kind of think something is probably owed.
Yeah, I will give her. I don't know what would be appropriate.
You almost get if you have something like an item that's very useful, you get the impression you might actually prefer that. But if you don't have anything on you, you could get something from your forge, or you could just pay her. Probably something like 2 crowns would be good for surgery.
Yes, I will. Because I don't really have any. Oh, maybe. Can I roll to like a luck style roll to see if I've made anything that might be?
Yeah, go ahead. That sounds fun. Well, it seems like you make a smithing roll, actually.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Gonna have it flat. We're not going to give you any bonus because.
Yeah, 40 under 66.
Okay, what sort of thing do you think she might like that you've made then?
I'm wondering if I've actually made some something that could be used for gardening, almost like a trowel kind of thing.
Yeah, like a nice, maybe like a nice set of like a nice trowel folk or something like that.
Yeah, that kind of thing.
Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, cool. You don't have it on you, but you can tell her that.
Grab them and return with them at some point. Yeah.
Sounds good. Just because I should do a mechanic for it, but because it was a nice idea, 1 crown, which is the cost of the materials you spent on that for your forge. It's a discount, but I should make you spend.
Cool.
Cool. Out of curiosity, are Henrik and Boniface or Kruger going to have any further conversations about what she is and what you're going to do about it, or are you kind of heading off at this point?
I think Kruger will have kind of asked a general sort of what was all that about then style question at some point.
Henrik and Boniface share a knowing look, maybe.
I think like not knowing the conversation that's going on inside, but knowing that this person is helping out Okri, I would probably be loudly expounding that that there must be an unregistered witch nearby, and I will have to report this to the College of Magic.
I see. I think she's probably like attending to Okri inside, and she's just like shaking her head, but with a small smile.
Like, yeah, basically that.
Yeah.
If she wasn't already going, I don't know. If she's already planning on going, but so that's kind of Boniface's thing of like, you can leave now or be bird witch. Like,
what you managed to do was, wow, would have been screwed without it. So, thank you.
I think I'm getting better at this. I think when I go back, I'm ready to graduate. I've been holding off for a while because just because they wanted me to take like staff class. It was so I didn't think it was a good like, but I think I can't think that I'm gonna have that much longer left in my studies. Not if I'm doing things like this.
The Knight of White Wolf, who is still here, by the way, you know him as Karl Odenorsch Kruger, comes over and slaps Boniface on the back rather hard, painfully, and goes, "Good job, lad. I think you might have saved her. Poor old woman. He doesn't know what happened."
Yeah. Maybe.
She going to be all right?
I don't think so, but...
What do you mean?
I think women like her live a tough life.
Maybe I'll stick around a bit. Keep an eye on her.
Maybe.
She may like the offer of help. I think she's about to have a busy time.
Well, she seemed like a good woman to me, so I suppose I could stay and see if she needs anything. Okri, you come out now. Your arm is like fully bound up, but you'll be able to take it out soon, don't worry. If it needs to come out for a reason, you can have it out. I don't want to give you a downside for that.
Can I, because I landed funny and I think my back hurts, can I go back in to have a look at that?
Yes, you can see if she can heal you some wounds.
Yeah, it's just a bit of a lingering rasping cough.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, she did well there. 4 wounds back for you.
Good.
No, sorry, 5. That's 5 out of 5 success. That is your once per day. You should remember that.
Yes.
Other than the nighttime. And as we described yesterday, arguably other than the combat, but I think that might be pushing it. Okay, assuming that's kind of the end of that scene, I think we'll end there because that's kind of already a bit over our time, aren't we? We'll do a bit of First and Rec next session. Nearly at the end of the story now, folks. I think it's definitely going to be only one more session. So that was fun. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, no, it's good.
That was fun.
So many cursed or dark magic people around.
It's quite common, and it's not like necessarily entirely cursed. It's just this is a thing that exists in this world.
It's true.
I always say cursed items and people are like buses.
How many have we had now? Is it?
This has been a very cursed item and people-y sort of story, hasn't it? Yeah.
Right.
Well, at least 2 of them cursed themselves. Arguably 3. Something to read in there.
I have now met all of my requirements for graduating from wizard school.
Amazing. Well, that will definitely be I mean, we're more or less at the end of the story anyway.
Yeah.
If you want to do actual stuff from the XP of that, you can have it for next session.
No, I'll be good.
And that is a thing as well. We can chat about this before next session, but people did have career moves they wanted to make. I'm happy for that to happen in next session because there's scenes that can play around if you wish. But let me know. We can chat about it because actually there's probably only about 45 minutes of stuff I've got for next session. So if we've got some scenes from your character sides, that's quite nice.
Defo.
So feel free to let me know. And also, obviously, just general leveling, interesting stuff if there's anything you want. And I will also have a think about actual rewards for the story because there might be some cool stuff to find.
That would be cool.
Mm-hmm. Although I think you've actually managed to skip a lot of the cool stuff that was in the thing.
Fantastic.
Oh wow,
that's great. That's what I love to hear.
Was it all cool cursed stuff?
I mean, there's a lot of magical things associated with this, yes, but
what did we
they're not powerful.
You know, a nice GM would find ways of working that back into the storyline as rewards.
And that's right now. What did I just say?
All right.
There was a nice talking skull, but Boniface was just not interested.
Yeah, there's only so much a GM can do when the players just.
I'll have you guys know, I'm now such a competent wizard that there's a 50% chance that my most basic spells will work when I cast them.
Wow,
that's actually pretty good.
It is pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Okay, do we have any cool comments, questions, or anything like that to mention, Joe?
Let me see.
Enjoy that. It's nice to go back to Warhammer again.
I did like this one from Steve. Oh, well, you're not showing up. There we go.
Steve, really want to keep Ockery safe. You go off and get healed. Immediately walks into plot. Yeah, I did think that. I was like, because originally I was like, it was Kruger and Henrik going to go to the house. And then Boniface was kind of undecided. And I was like, it'd be really handy if Boniface went with Ockery. And then someone went, it was you who went, oh, we really want you to come with us, Boniface. I was like, okay. It was all right.
Boniface was like, I don't even know what's going on. Like, like there's a people being like, there's a murder going on. Like, all I know is I got stabbed on day one, and I've never really fully understood what's been happening since then.
It's okay. The first roll, because when you went up to her and you got that stench, that was quite a low roll. If that was a higher roll, it could have been much worse. So, as Henrik found out.
Yeah.
And Boniface has done that thing where he's reached his last year of university, his own year of university, and his friend group has just completely collapsed.
Yeah, true.
One massive blow up and a few demon summoning. And now there's no social group left.
No, there's no social. They've all been literally cut down.
They've all moved away to other planes of existence.
Because we have the XP for saving 8 people. They might be traumatized and scattered to the winds, but
none of them were
survivors.
Mm-hmm.
Bear in mind, these were not my. This is like a society that I'm in, like for drunk wizards. So it's not like these are my.
I feel like you're not going to be any
friends or class friends. These are. Most of them were death magic, and I know Boniface was about death magic.
I love it.
Put it out there. Mm-hmm. They're dead.
What you're saying is Boniface definitely has other friends. We just haven't met them.
No, Boniface has no other friends.
I love how it was also sheer happenstance that we ended up with so many death wizards in this story. Okay, not some of it was because I wanted to, but then it was also that Gustav Weil was a death wizard in the plot that I'd taken him from, and I was like, oh, really? Another one? Surrounded by
like my worst nightmare. Like, oh god, I can't move death wizards.
Mm-hmm.
And as much as you say death wizards are nice people, all of the evidence points to the contrary.
No, Gustav's being a good guy.
Yeah,
I have not really seen that validated. I've seen him be a guy.
Oh, come on, he's helped you loads.
He's helped himself loads.
Oh
no, he hasn't.
42. Boniface heard unsubstantiated rumors that this liquid is capable of healing. That was about what it felt like at the beginning of this session, wasn't it? You were really rolling the dice. There is actually a whole mechanic in this game for like how long potions last when they go off. Badly made potions and how that works. It's like,
wow. I was also looking at the rules and I saw that there's like a dose thing, and I was like, I have no idea how many doses there are in this. But I've just got
you just give it all
potion.
to them. Yeah,
I'm just like, yeah, just take the whole
you
thing.
could have got several doses.
I
was gonna give you
I
3
can't
doses,
even
but-
remember where I found this from, but it's on my character sheet and it's been there for a while.
I also
great.
don't remember.
Wow.
I wasn't being mean and making it go off.
In many ways, I'm just glad it's over and done.
If
I
it
don't
was
have to
this
worry
story,
about it
if it was
much
like
anymore.
you used it next story, I might have pushed it. So
Yeah.
this story.
Well, I mean, we've not seen the Squire since, so it could still be,
Yeah,
some
yeah.
Pokemon
Yeah.
monstrosity.
Who knows what's happened to them now? There's
Yeah.
just a rampaging monster destroying the rest of Vicebrook while you're off in this grove. Anything else? Semerus, Winona forever.
There is
Presumably, this is
slightly adjacent to our stream, so we sort of just caught the outside of it, but there has been some hot takes about Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Oh, that in that Discord, I saw that. Yeah. Go check out our Discord for the hot takes.
We seem to talk about Francis Ford about Bram Stoker's Dracula an awful lot.
Mm-hmm. Well, why shouldn't we? It's great.
Yeah, that's true. Anyway, that is everything I say. Stalling.
No, that's good.
Yes, that is everything.
Anyone?
there's another subscription from
Yeah, I was going to say, are there any subscriptions to read out?
someone here.
Yeah.
Is there?
I don't usually read the ones from the crew.
Ah.
I see.
But
Wow.
fine. Thank you, Jonny, for your resub. We appreciate it.
We do.
Well, I appreciate it. I don't know whether John does.
I
Clearly.
do.
It is
I'm gonna
weird
stop
'cause
watching.
effectively it is Johnny
wait.
subscribing.
That's
himself.
Johnny's account all of this time.
Cool. Well, I think that is us then, folks. So we will see you for the final session of this arc of Warhammer Fantasy 4th edition. Hopefully we'll return after that for another story, because I'm having a good time with this. We'll see you in 2 weeks for that. Next week is going to be the last session of We Deal in Lead. And check out this Wednesday. We're going to be doing Simbaroom, and then the following Thursday, and Wednesday, another Simbaroom. And the following Thursday is Matt doing the Yellow King. And check out our media and other things for the soon-to-be-announced one-shot that will be run as well. Thank you very much for joining us, folks. Check out all our social media and everything else below if you are interested. And thanks to our lovely patrons. And we will see you next time. Bye-bye.